Hello everyone, welcome to day 89 of playing chess every day for a year. Let's find the game. We're starting as black. I'll play the Caro-Kann. Hillbilly attack, so my pawn goes away. Just develop my knight. Could jump my knight in and then bring my queen. I think I'll develop this knight first. He pins me. If I kick the bishop. Okay, I think g5 is not a good move. But if I go g5, I'm threatening to put my knight on e3. I open up this rook if I take the bishop, so this forces my opponent to weaken their structure. I'm thinking about taking this. If I don't take, my opponent will take. I can attack a third piece. Jumps back that way. Now my opponent has to weaken their structure. I can even go for this. But if I go for this, my opponent takes. It's not so good, so I'll just weaken their structure. Good castle, but that doesn't look so good. Coming in this way looks good. I want to stop my opponent from pushing here. My opponent pushes there anyway. Pins my knight. I can unpin my knight and take here. My opponent defends. I can attack this bishop. I think first I'll take the file. But that will lose my rook, so not right now. I think I can just kick this bishop out. So that I can take this file. Queen comes over. So I wish I could put my rook here to attack the queen, but that's not possible. Good castle this way, but that walks into this diagonal, so not really. If I go here, I'm not threatening to go here, but I have these strong bishops, and queen trade would be good for me, so I have to be careful of my opponent's bishops. Queen steps away. My opponent resigns. Why? My position is much better here, but according to the engine, but I'm not sure my opponent resigned. Oh, my opponent blundered his bishop, maybe that's probably why. Okay, let's look at this game. So we played with a 73.5, my opponent with a 66. We had two misses, but my opponent had two big blunders at the end. We played the Caro-Kann. Our opening was okay. Forcing the bishop away is best. This wasn't best, it was better to threaten, to trap the piece. Here my opponent can jump in. Pushing wasn't best. Weakening my opponent's structure was best. Now b5 is a mistake. I should have developed my queen. Attacking this. If my opponent pushed, I'd play knight takes d4. So there's no way my opponent can actually defend this pawn. Maybe, yeah, there's maybe knight back to b1, but that doesn't look good. And c4 is a blunder. But I missed taking with the d pawn. Why is this such a big blunder? The line goes bishop back, and we take the pawn. And we get to attack this pawn. Taking with the c pawn allows the bishop to come in. So that makes sense. It's about kicking the bishop away. I missed h4, which it doesn't trap the bishop, but it's a strong move. If I play h4 in this position, my opponent will play, for example, trade the knight off. We take, then my opponent plays, for example, bishop e5, and then the line just goes on. That's not what happens though. So we missed h4 here. And that just blunders the bishop. So my opponent resigns. From a very equal position to a lost position. Because I get to take. And I just control so much of the board here. My knight can jump in with a fork. Very strong position for me. Let's find the second game. We're playing as black again. e4 again, so I'll play the Caro-Kann. I've never seen knight to c3. It's the Vienna. Play e5 here, which looks okay. Just taking space. Bishop comes in. I can kick this bishop on the queen side. The bishop has to go back. Queen now just blunders the bishop, so it's not possible. Bishop goes back there. I can put my knight on c5 to fork the pawn and the bishop. I'm attacking the bishop here. I can also kick the knight away. And he's forcing me to take. Now I can pin the knight to the king. And develop my knight. Probably this way. Can also attack the center once I trade the knight off. Really? My opponent just takes a pawn because I can't recapture because of the rook taking. I'll take here with check. Forces my opponent to weaken their structure. I'll attack the bishop. Bishop has to go back, all the way back. If the bishop goes back, I could take her and then just develop. Bishop e3 looks like the only good move. Bishop could go to c5. I'm not sure if that's good. But then I just kick it, so it's probably not a good move. Bishop moves, my rook is hanging. So I actually think I have to take her. We'll take that. Now I have to castle as quickly as I can. I can block the bishop off. I think I just want to castle here though. My structure is very weird. I can improve it with d4, d5. I don't have to take her. I can castle. I can even push. I could take with the knight, which looks good. Taking with the pawn. Does attack this. Take with the knight probably. Attacking the bishop. Bishop comes in to attack my rook, but I'll just slide out of the way. e4 looks okay. We win the pawn with check, at the very least, after the trade. Knight's hanging. Just castles, gives up the piece. That's a huge blunder. Now I take here, attacking the rook. Attacks my queen. I can put my queen in the light squares and we're safe. A rook is hanging. I can take with check. Queen takes. Queen takes. No back rank mate right now. I can also make space for my king. Queen h3 wins me the game. The king has almost no moves. Queen comes up. Maybe he's looking to double up. And checkmate is about to come. Check here, check. If I put my queen up, so my opponent is threatening mate on this. I can't push. I can push here, attacking the queen. Takes a pawn. That just blunders checkmate. My opponent has no more checks. Opponent has no more checks and can't get back to defend the king. Even the bishop sacrifice doesn't work. Then there's no moves that work here. The king can't escape. The king has no escape squares. Checkmate is coming. Even sacrificing the queen doesn't work. We win the game. We had mate in 1 the board. Mate in 2. Because it's now a move. Let's look at this game. Played with a 78 accuracy, my opponent with a 69.5. E5 isn't best. E6 is much better. Preparing this. Kicking the bishop's good. This knight move is a mistake because my opponent can just win a pawn. Is there no way I can defend the pawn? Really? I'm not sure. That's not what happens. We played knight to a6. And we get to trap the bishop. We take the bishop. Pin the knight. Pinning the knight isn't best. We should have played d5 right now. Because d5 threatens to push and win the knight. So taking it straight away is wrong. Attacking the bishop isn't best. The best move was to develop the knight and castle. We have to take the rook though. Otherwise we lose our rook. d5 is good here. I missed taking. Because after takes we have an attack on this. The best move was to take. Taking leads to this trade. And we have a very strong knight. And we also win back our pawn. And so on this move, after I removed my rook and he attacked my knight, I blundered knight to b4. Just in one move. I don't know why. And I don't want to talk about that move. My opponent takes. Pushing's the best move here. It's a big threat. And castling just blunders a piece. So my opponent should have just taken and accepted the check, because it's not that dangerous. The best move would be king f1 for my opponent. King to f1 is completely fine. My opponent is still up material. But here my opponent blunders back. I blundered my piece and so did my opponent. He castled. I take the knight. I'm also threatening to really weaken his structure. My queen is staring down here, and so is my bishop. Now I get a take with my bishop, which is the best move. The game is a draw here. Attacking my queen isn't good. I put my queen on the light square so the bishop can't attack it. So here we have to take the rook. We could pin the bishop to the queen, but I'm not sure about that. Trading was good, but pinning the bishop to the queen was the best move. Queen takes. I make room for my king, so there are no back rank problems. Now I'm setting up this mating knight here. Attacking me is good, pushing is the best move. Check doesn't do anything. And this blunders. Taking the blunders. But queen to b4 doesn't really do anything. Queen to b4, I guess my opponent always has a defense, which makes sense. Queen to b4 actually draws the game. It's the only defense possible. I have to accept this trade. And I have a much better structure here. The king is very cramped, but my opponent just has these 4 pawns and the piece up here. So this position is a draw, but it doesn't look that good for me. It looks very hard to win. Luckily though, my opponent missed Queen f4, which is the only move that stops me. So that's it for today, guys. 2 wins. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.